Centricity Physician Office EMR Application, Module 1, Overview Training. Let's review the benefits of the EMR application. Is legibility. Having a shared chart. Not only do you have easy access to information at any workstation, several people can view a patient chart simultaneously. There's risk and safety monitoring, such as orders tracking and non-compliance. Data collection and quality reporting can be done with ease through structured data in the record. Electronic forms can drive workflow and clinical decision-making. Age and gender-specific health maintenance protocols are built in the system and used as alerts to when a patient is due to have a test. Training of the EMR application will be reviewed in 4 modules. Overview training of the desktop and chart will be reviewed in Module 1. In Module 2, we will focus on the registration process and appointments. Module 3 contains chart updates, such as a phone note and an office visit, and becoming familiar with form functionality, including adding a medication to a patient's chart. In Module 4, we will learn orders such as lab tests and referrals, as well as creating letters and print functions. You will first need to log in with a username and a password. The login screen is the beginning location for accessing the software. The password displays asterisks, so it can't be seen, and your password is case sensitive. The default location of care will automatically populate based on your user settings. Verify the location of care that displays in this field. An organization can hold one chart that is shared within multiple practices, both primary care and specialty. The location of care will distinguish where the document originated. The desktop is the default point of entry upon login to EMR. This view is what we refer to as our desktop. It is the default point of entry upon logging into EMR. In the paper world, this would be your to-do list. It has several components. The blue bar at the top of the screen is called the title bar. This bar displays the user's full name, the location of care, date and time. The menu bar, which brings you to selected tasks, and these are the action buttons. Notice the desktop action button is depressed because you are currently in that module. Other action buttons include the chart module, appointments module, registration, and reports module. The new button will allow you to create new flags, and the view button will allow you to view flags in more detail. The print action button and the exit button. For privacy, the exit button should be used to log out when leaving your workstation unattended. The tabs are used to help manage and organize your flags and documents that are sent to you. The Summary tab allows the user a snapshot view of appointments, flags, and documents. The appointments are seen on the left side of the page, and you can set your appointment book for the day of a provider you may be supporting. Flags are displayed on the upper right corner and documents in the lower right corner. Documents and flags are displayed by the priority given by the sender. A red exclamation point is for urgent priority, always shown at the top of the list of documents. A yellow exclamation point is for important priority, and that's displayed after the urgent flags and documents. No marking is for normal priority, displayed last. Flags in bold type are unread, and flags in italicized type are saved. You can open, reply, forward, convert, and remove flags from the Summary tab. Documents with the pencil icon mean that the document must be signed. Flags are electronic sticky notes. They are sent to one or more users. You can even send flags to yourself and post-date them for future reminders. The Flag tab on the desktop is the best place to review and manage flags. From the Flags tab, you can hover over a selected field to expand the text within that field. Or you can single-click on the flag and the message will display on the lower end of the screen. Flags in bold are unread. Flags in italicized are saved flags and have not been sent out to the recipient. Flags are not private. There is an option of this screen to view other people's flags. Under the drop-down arrow, you can see other people's flags within your location. Going through the binoculars, you can search for people within the organization. To create a new flag, select the New button from the Action button toolbar. The New Flag window appears. The To section is who you intend on sending your flag to. Select the drop-down box to see users within your location of care. And again, to see all users of the organization, use the binoculars. Highlight the user to send a flag. The Properties section. Priority. You can mark the flag as normal, important, or urgent. The Due date. Mark the flag with a date as to when you want this to appear on the recipient's desktop. Defaults with today's date, however, flags can be post-dated. The Attach To allows you to select if you want this flag to be attached to a patient chart, a registration, or an appointment. If you are attaching to a patient chart, attaching to a recipient's desktop allows you to send a generic flag. For example, a meeting or a reminder. And if your flag references a patient, then it can be attached to the patient's chart by selecting the three dots. A subject and a message line. And then you press the Send button. It will now send the flag onto the recipients. In this case, we sent it to ourselves that the meeting was canceled. It is in bold, as it has not been read yet. When you click on it, you will see a detailed view, and you have the option to remove the flag. The Documents tab. Document management for reviewing and signing is best accomplished using your Documents tab on your desktop. Once the document is signed, the document will no longer appear on the desktop as it is filed within the patient chart. The drop-down allows the user to view the users in their current location. And then again, the binoculars allow you to view and select users from outside your location within the organization. The Comment field allows the user to add a comment which will not be a part of the patient's chart. The folder structure in the left-handed side allows you to sort documents on your desktop by type. The All folder displays all documents on your desktop. And the number in parentheses shows how many documents are currently on the desktop. The subfolders sort the documents based on what type. When you click on one particular folder, you will view the documents of that file type. buttons on this page will allow certain actions for the document. You can open unsigned or working documents to add to it. You can final sign a document from the desktop or make an append to an already signed document. Another option would be to route a document to another user. And you can organize your personal view by clicking on the Organize button. Module 1, Part 2, the patient chart. In this module, we will search for a patient chart, explain the patient banner, and review the patient chart summary, which will include problems, medications, alerts, flowsheet values, orders, documents, and document attachments. To search for a patient, from your desktop view, you will select the Chart Action button. The Chart Action button is on the upper left-hand corner and has a drop-down arrow to show the last 5 patients that you had entered. Clicking on the Chart button will bring you to the most recent chart. If you are searching for a different patient, you may use the Find Patient button or by pressing Ctrl F. This will open the Find Patient window. Patients can be searched by name, date of birth, social security number, patient ID, etc. The user's preferred search method can be saved as a user's preference. Search method is the first 3 letters of the patient's last name, separated by a comma, followed by the 3 first letters of the patient's first name. We'll search for patient 22. Verify the date of birth and press OK. When you open a patient's chart, the default is the summary page, where at a glance you can view the patient's active problems, active medications, last observation values, and then a summary of all the patient's documents, patient allergies, directives, and registration notes. Some practices have the option to include a patient photo. The patient banner, which is the big blue banner containing the patient name, home phone, work phone, and insurance information. A red patient banner indicates that the patient is deceased. And much like a paper chart, the electronic chart contains several tabs. As we like to say, tabs are for viewing and buttons are for doing. Let's view the patient's problems. The Problems tab of a chart displays information about a patient's problems. You can choose only active problems or the patient's complete history of problems by choosing the All button. By selecting one of the patient's problems, the bottom of the screen displays the history of the assessment for the problem. I have chose preventive health care, and on 6209, the patient had an office visit. By double-clicking on that assessment, it will bring you to the related document viewer. For a quick view of the patient's visit. The Medications tab is the patient's current medications list. You can also choose All or Active Only. Medications can be checked for interactions with other medications and the patient's allergies. In the bottom right-hand corner is the prescription flow sheet. By highlighting a med, you can see when the last refill was given, the instructions, and some more details of the prescription. Again, by double-clicking, this will bring you to the related document viewer. Patient had a refill on 7/23/09. The Patient's Alerts tab. This will display the patient's allergies and directives. Also, you can check for drug interactions that the patient may have. And here are the directives. The patient's flow sheet. The flow sheet is used to compare and track lab values or preventative care protocols. A flow sheet is a table with dates and times along one axis and observation terms along the other. Flow sheets can be arranged to display different observation terms in a specific order. This is called a flow sheet view. There are several different types of flow sheet views. All will display all observation terms in alphabetical order. Another preferred view, such as a preventative care view, can be linked to the user in setup of preferences. The next tab is the Orders tab. There are several order types. A test can be performed outside your office, such as a lab test or radiology. Referrals to other providers or specialties. And services. Services are conducted within your office. Admin hold orders are not yet printed or given to the patient. Orders that are in process have been given to the patient and we are pending results. Completed orders have been resulted or finalized. And then there's canceled orders. Highlighted orders will display detailed information on the lower half of the window. And you double-click on the order to view the documents associated with the order. The last tab is the Documents tab. Document tab contains all documents for this patient, signed or unsigned. Such like the paper chart, you can sort the documents in different ways. You can sort the columns by clicking on the column header. And on the left side, you can filter your document to look for certain documents. Clicking on the All document will get you back to all the patient documents. Within the documents, you will see attachments, which are scanned images that are imported into the patient chart but are stored in a separate area with a link to access. You will see the paperclip in the paperclip column, and this means that an attachment is associated with that respective document. Click on the paperclip icon to open the attachment. Here's an example of a scanned emergency department note. And that concludes the patient chart module. Centricity Physician Office EMR application. Module 2, Registration and Appointments. The EMR application can be used to register patients. You can also have demographics imported into the EMR application from another system. This lesson reviews finding and entering patient demographics, entering a new patient, entering insurance information, and patient contacts. A task that occurs frequently in any medical record system, manual or electronic, is pulling a chart to find non-clinical information about a patient's insurance, or a patient's pharmacy. To do this, we are at the registration module. Click on the registration button. The registration record views the current patient. To find a new patient, click the Find Patient button for the patient search. Notice the 3 registration tabs: Patient, Insurance, and Contacts. The Patient tab is in front of the others. You will view patient address and other demographics, insurance information, and possibly a photo if available in your clinic. The next tab is the insurance details. It will list the primary insurance, any secondary or tertiary insurances, along with the insured ID and group number and effective date. The next tab is the contacts. This could include emergency contacts, referring physicians, other physicians in the patient's care, and pharmacy information. Some updates, particularly the prescription refill encounter, pulls the pharmacy data into the document. You may also print the patient information by pressing the Print button. Some practices print a registration summary upon checking in their patients. Now let's enter a new patient. We're going to go to the Find Patient button, and we'll select New Patient from the patient search. The first few letters of each name Once you have verified that the patient is not already entered in the system, click the New button. Once you have entered all the minimum data required by the EMR application to create a new patient record, click OK. To add patient's insurance, click on the Insurance tab and click the New button. Insurance plans have been pre-built into the system. To search for an insurance, type in the name. You can organize by city, address, find the one you want, and say OK. Responsible party, and effective date. The Contact Information tab will be used to record the patient's personal and business contacts. Contacts include relatives, emergency contacts, referring providers, additional providers such as specialists, employers, and pharmacies. To add a pharmacy, click New and select Pharmacy. And you can search to the list that has been pre-built. To change a patient insurance or contact information, you would use the Change button. Module 2, Part 2, Appointments. Scheduling is a critical task for all clinics. Effective schedule helps the clinic deliver timely care to the patients, improves staff coordination, and helps maximize the use of its limited resources. Because appointments are tied to patient charts, staff can quickly locate chart information for arriving patients and print appointment forms. In this lesson, we will review the patient search within the Appointments module, selected views of the appointment book, appointment status, and appointment details. A clinic typically keeps many appointment books. Usually there is a book for each physician, and there may be more books for other providers, exam rooms, and specialized equipment. You can move quickly among these appointment books, view them in various formats, and search them for a specific appointment. In the Appointment module, you can be set up to see a certain provider schedule on your desktop, which is on the left-hand side. But to view multiple appointment books, click the Appointments button. You can scroll up and down to view the day, or select to a split view. You can view the appointments for the week, or you can select a specific day of appointment by using the calendar. To return to today's appointments, click the Today button. The Previous View button will bring you back to where you were. Feel free to set your preferred view and to see desired appointment books and slot size. Here is where you select your appointment book and how you would like to see your appointments. And you can save it as your default. To search for an appointment of a particular patient, near the bottom of the screen, you'll see the patient box. To change your patient, click on the ellipse for the Search Patient screen. To view this patient's appointment, to view the patient details, click on the View Details. More menus appear when you have an appointment selected. You can open the patient's chart, you can reschedule, check the status of the appointment, view the details of the appointment, or you can even open the registration screen. And you also have print options to print a certain appointment book. The status button is used to record that a patient has arrived, canceled, or missed his appointment. If a patient is checking in, you would highlight the patient name and click on the status button, then check Arrive. Arriving the patient will create a black dot to the left of the patient name in the appointment book. This indicator dot will alert the other users that the patient has checked in. Other users will have the appointment book on their desktop and see that the black dot has appeared. To schedule an appointment, you must specify at least 4 pieces of information: an appointment book, a patient name, an appointment type, and a starting time. If you know the appointment book and time, you can schedule an appointment directly into a time slot. Near the bottom of the screen, you'll see the Add Appointment button. You first search for your patient, click on the appointment time, and add your appointment. In the Add Appointment box at the bottom of the screen, you will see an appointment type, how long you think the visit will take, any linked books, in a visit ID or a billing ID. I'm going to book directly right into the slot, so I'm going to schedule this appointment. Here is where you type in the reason for the visit. And you say OK. And you will see the appointment appear. To search for an appointment in multiple books, patient, appointment type, and then press the search button. Complete the remaining search options to include which appointment books. You can add multiple appointment books by selecting linked appointment books such as an EKG or procedure room, your date range, which is good for the patient, and you can specify a time range or a day range. By selecting the Find Next appointment, the computer will search for the next available appointment with that criteria. Rescheduling an appointment can also be done easily by selecting the patient appointment and then click the Reschedule button. And this again brings you to the Add Appointment screen to search the new criteria. You will see the appointment details right above. And again, to cancel the appointment, the status, and we're going to cancel the appointment. When canceling an appointment, it is good to put a reason for the cancellation, and the patient's appointment will be canceled.